Big Polly's World of Sports Sims presents Hometown Football League Football. Tonight's game, the first of two games we will have for you this October 9th. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Hello there again, everybody. I'm Big Polly coming to you on camera. It is October 2nd, 2020 as I record this. And the reason why I wanted to kind of do like a on-camera disclaimer here is that, as you will know when you see this on October 9th, this is the date that the President of the United States and the First Lady were diagnosed with COVID-19 and tested positive for it. So if anything happened between when I record this game on October 2nd and when you see this game on October 9th, my apologies for not mentioning it. As I don't know if anything has happened between October 2nd and October 9th. I don't know about it as I record this game. We wish the President and we wish the First Lady Godspeed. Hope they recover from COVID real quick. And with that, we get back to sports. So on back to the sports world, which has moved on since the announcement of the President and the First Lady contracting COVID on this October 2nd. Games are going on in the real world. I am looking right now at a monitor which has the Chicago Cubs playing the Miami Marlins in one of the 8 first-round series in the Major League Baseball playoffs. So we will get to today's game and we will carry on until we know otherwise with everything going on in the real world and in the sports world. Cincinnati battling San Francisco. Cincinnati coming in 4-4, trying to keep pace in the Northern Conference, and San Francisco 6-2. They're trying to move up in the Western Conference. A balmy day in San Francisco, or Santa Clara, where Levi's Stadium is. It is 69 degrees. A bit of a wind, 10 to 20 miles per hour. No precipitation forecasted. San Francisco a 7-point favorite. They are the Gold Raiders, not the 49ers. I don't know why I keep saying that. And Cincinnati is the Bengals. Cincinnati is just Cincinnati, but San Francisco is a combination of the 49ers and the Raiders. San Francisco has the first half choice because Cincinnati won the toss deferred. Ken Anderson against Y.A. Tittle. In your quarterbacking matchup, Steve Young came in and played remarkably for the 49ers, not the 49ers, again, the Gold Raiders. Oh, my goodness. Doesn't help when when the creator of this league doesn't remember the nicknames of his team. Sam White will be coaching Cincinnati, and Bill Walsh for San Francisco, which was the coaching matchup on Super Bowl 23. Woodson, Washington, McElhenney back deep for the 49ers. And we'll get this one started. And
holding, receiving team,
kickoff
10-yard penalty.
Had a penalty to it, holding on Leo Namalini. 1st and 10 for San Francisco at their own 10-yard line. The San Francisco starting lineup: Gore and McElhenney at running back, Rice and Owens your wideouts, Gordy Sotal at tight end, Tittle quarterbacking, Shell, Upshaw, Otto, Cross, St. Clair your offensive line. For Cincinnati's defense: Smith, Dunlop, Atkins, Reed your front four, Spikes, LeClaire, Perfect your linebackers, Parrish, Riley, Casanova, and Nelson are your defensive backs. And on 1st and 10, we'll get it started giving it a trap right to, I nearly said Al Gore, Frank Gore. Speaking of men who could have been president. Gain of 7 yards. Nelson on the tackle for Cincinnati. Owens on a play-action medium fly on 2nd and 3. Completed to Terrell Owens, and that's a gain of 20 yards. And Miami has just homered to lead their game with the Cubs. But that was a week ago as you hear this at the very least. Trap left, Frank Gore on 1st and 10. That is a gain of 7 yards. Ken Riley, Great Cincinnati corners makes the tackle there, and it is 2nd and 3 to Jerry Rice. Play action again on the medium slant on 2nd and 3. Ball at their own 44. Rice looks open. That's because he was. And a gain of 24 yards. Riley makes the stop. Gore, trap right on 1st and 10. And he finds the hole, and he finds 6 yards. Randy Crosshard on the play. He is hobbling off. Will return in a few plays. Brown has come in, Ray Brown out of Arkansas State, to replace him on the O-line. To Soltal on a medium out on 2nd and 4. As the Gold Raiders, Sam nearly said 49ers again, have been getting a lot of 2nd-and-3s and 2nd-and-4s, and it's been working out well for them up until then. That incompletion. Short out to Owens on 3rd and 4. Tittle flushed out of the pocket, incomplete, looking for Hugh McElhenney. And with the wind advantage, Janikowski comes on to try a field goal from 43, and with his leg, this should be easy, and it is. 3-0, the 49ers have drawn first blood. And there I go again. The Gold Raiders have drawn first blood. Sorry, folks. Creature of habit here. Cincinnati has Yeast, Watson, and Jones back deep. And a kickoff, a touchback. And with that 10 to 20 mile an hour wind, that is no surprise. 1st and 10 at the 20. But first, let's set the Cincinnati offense up. Dillon and Johnson, your running backs. Hujman, Zada, and Green at wideout. Ross, tight end. Anderson out of Augustana College, your quarterback. Munoz, a 10-plus offensive tackle, along with Steinbach, Johnson, Montoya, and Anderson. Leading the charge for San Francisco defensively, Haley, Hardman, Namalini, and Stubblefield, your front four. Mack, Willis, Peterson, your linebackers. Brown, Hayes, Lott, Grayson, a very accomplished defensive backfield. You got 4 10s in there and a 10-plus in Charles Haley. So the Bengals set up shop. 1st and 10 at the 20. And this is Corey Dillon with a gain of 9. And Williams brought him down for the Gold Raiders. San Francisco now backed up 9 more yards. It's 2nd-and-1. This is Peterson with a first down. That sets up 1st and 10 at the 30. Rudy Johnson, no gain. Actually lost a yard. Peterson on the stop for the Gold Raiders. 2nd-and-11 at the 29. Long throw, caught. Rudy Johnson, and a gain of 28. And now Cincinnati on the San Francisco side of the field. 1st-and-10 at the 43. Anderson, incomplete. And Anderson has had some pretty good statistics this season. He has a rating of 108.4. And that's off of a rating based of 92.1, which is kind of a composite of his best seasons. And running the ball, he already has 186 yards, and his real-life composite is 196. So Anderson can scramble if he needs to. 2nd-and-10 at the 43. This is to Johnson, who gains a yard. That sets up 3rd-and-8. Collinsworth comes in as the third wide receiver. Ball to 42. Anderson throws. Incomplete, looking for Collinsworth. Even with that big neck of his, Anderson and Collinsworth could not hook up. And on 4th-and-9 at the 42, we'll watch for the fake bunt. And that's not a good kick at all. It goes out of bounds at the 12. Pat McAnally, the punter, and it went 30 yards. 7:34 left opening quarter. It's 3-0 Gold Raiders. Gore, trap, right. Blitz coming. We'll change it to a screen to Hugh McElhenney, who is a good pass catcher out of the backfield. Incomplete and a marker.
Pass interference, defense. Number 51, 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
You get Takeo Spikes for the pass interference, and that makes it 1st-and-10 again. Trap left, Frank Gore. Gore's going to have the first down, a pickup of 12. Field opened up for him, parted like the Red Sea. And we'll go Jerry Rice on the medium fly, which is going to be a good call because Cincinnati had 8 in the box. Incomplete, setting up 2nd and 10. Gore, trap left. He'll gain some yards, 3, and it's 3rd and 7. Soltow, short hitch, number 82. That's incomplete, but a marker.
Holding offense
Against the
number
49ers.
78, 10-yard penalty.
And that's Art Shell who gets called for the hold, which will be declined. 4th and 7. Tommy Davis back to punt, and with that wind at his back, it should be a good one, and it is. Punt went 49. Yeast with a 1-yard loss on the return, so remember your advanced math. 49 minus a -1 is 50, because the minuses cancel each other out, and it's 1st and 10 Bengals at their own 18. Little dump pass to Rudy Johnson, who gains 9 yards. We have 5:14 left in the opening quarter. And we'll preview the games coming up for you the next few days right here on the HTFL as the first quarter concludes. Gain of 2 yards. Mack on the tackle. Khalil Mack, who played for the Raiders in the 20-teens and now plays for the Chicago Bears, I think. 1st and 10 at the 29. This is Corey Dillon, who gains 3, setting up a 2nd and 7. Dillon again. A first down and a pickup of 10. Willis on the tackle. Ball now resting at the 42 for another 1st and 10 play. We have 3:06 left now. Rudy Johnson with a hole and a lane. And a gain of 24. That is his longest rush of the season. And that moves him up to 26 yards rushing, and he also has 2 catches out of the backfield for 37. 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 34. So the Bengals holding their own with the 49ers. A gain of 3. And that sets up 2nd and 7 at the 31. Anderson over the middle, and he finds Ross, a gain of 19. And now Cincinnati enters the Gold Raider red zone. 1st and 10 at the 12. I nearly said 49ers again. They're not the 49ers. They're the Gold Raiders. A gain of 5 for Corey Dillon. That'll do it for quarter number 1. And it is 3-0 San Francisco. Here's your next 3 days worth of games, counting today, because we have a doubleheader today. If you are seeing this prior to 9 o'clock on Friday night, October 9th, we have the Monday night game for you, Tampa Bay at Baltimore. Tampa Bay, the only team left that hasn't won in the HTFL. They are 0-8 coming into this game. Baltimore 4-4. We'll have Baltimore again for you Monday as we start Week 11. The recap show will be 6:30 in the p.m. and then San Diego will play Baltimore, as that would be the first Sunday game. And that will be 7 o'clock. And from here on out, we're doing 10 games each week. The other 6 will be on the recap show, and each game will be a 7 o'clock kickoff. On Tuesday, Carolina at New York, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. That's your next 3 days worth of games right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. 2nd and 5 at the 7. Cincinnati, 113 yards, 15 plays. San Francisco, 79 yards on 11 plays. Johnson, touchdown. Rudy Johnson. And it is 6-3. I keep calling him, it's Pete Johnson, isn't it? Pete Johnson. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not having a good day. And your point after, good. Let's just look up the roster here and just eliminate all doubt. But I'm pretty sure I have been calling him. They have a Rudy Johnson, but he has only had one carry all season. It is Pete Johnson, who has had 6 carries, 36 yards, and a touchdown. And coming into the game, he had 50 for 192, and he's had 19 catches for 280 yards. 254 yards, I'm sorry, a 13.4 clip. So I have been calling Rudy Johnson Pete Johnson. So, no, I have been calling Pete Johnson Rudy Johnson. Oh well, 7-3 Cincinnati with 14:49 left and a touchback. 1st and 10 for San Francisco. And we're going to do a stretch play to Hugh McElhenney. And McElhenney breaks it into the open, and that's a gain of 25 yards. Gene Upshaw, a finger injury, which he has shook off. Shuck, S-H-U-C-K. Off tackle right for Gore. Blitz coming, but Gore beats the blitz a little bit. A gain of 5. Burfict made the tackle for Cincinnati. So, with this news of president being afflicted with COVID, you might wonder, well, how did the NFL handle the assassination of President Kennedy? Well, I will tell you. Trap right, Frank Gore. What had happened was that the networks went nonstop and covered the assassination of President Kennedy from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon onward, although all 3 networks of the time, CBS, ABC, NBC, all had bulletins before 2 o'clock, but then when they got to 2 o'clock, they all covered it wire to wire. And it was announced very shortly afterwards that President Kennedy had died. About the networks had that, roughly 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern time on the 22nd of November 1963. Sweep right Gore on 3rd and 1. So what the NFL did and the AFL did, because they did not have television coverage, the television networks covered the assassination. So what they did was the NFL, despite not having any televised games, they played all their games. The AFL chose not to play their games, and they just moved the season back a week. The punt went to the 3-yard line, and Yeast caught it, a return of 1, so Cincinnati's going to start at their own 4. 1st and 10 at the 4. But the networks decided they were not going to show anything else other than the news events surrounding Kennedy's assassination. And with television being relatively new at the time, that was probably the wise call. 2nd and 4 at the 10. Gain of 7. That was a very, very sad time for the country. It must have been. I was born in 1971, and that happened in 1963. And my mother tells me all the time that when she attended a Catholic school in the Bronx, and because President Kennedy was Irish, that it was a very, very sad event. 1st and 10 at the 17. Anderson completes it to Ross, who gains 14 yards out to the 31, and it's 1st and 10 for the Bengals there. Gain of 7 yards.
Offense, number 54,
Pete Johnson.
10-yard penalty.
And it was a hold against, let's see, do we have another Johnson? Yes, we do. We have a center also with a name of Johnson. 1st and 20 at the 21. But all normal programming was canceled, and it was kind of like what you see on cable network news these days, where they just cover the event nonstop. 2nd and 16 at the 25. Gain of 2 to Corey Dillon, and Willis made the tackle for the Gold Raiders. 3rd and 14. Anderson throws. Incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 24. Automatic. 1st down.
They get Old Man Willie for pass interference, Willie Brown, and that's a huge penalty for the Bengals, as they will gain a chunk of yardage there. 1st and 10 at the 34. This is Corey Dillon again, and Corey Dillon with another 14-yard gain to move it out to the 20-yard line. And Cincinnati smelling blood again. 1st and 10 from there. Pete Johnson. A gain of 4. Leo Namalini on a tackle. 2nd and 6 at the 16. Corey Dillon a first down. He picks up 8 yards. First and goal at the 8. Corey Dillon, a gain of 5. Brown on the tackle at the 3. A 2nd and goal now. Anderson scrambles. Got back to the line. Charles Haley introduces himself to him. It's now 3rd and goal at the 3-yard line. Incomplete. A throw to the end zone. Nearly Grayson broke it up. It was to TJ Huzmanzada. And here's your field goal try by Shane Graham, which is good from 20 yards out. And it's 10-3. Woodson, Abe Woodson back deep for the 40, not Gold Raiders. What am I doing here? That was a kick out of bounds.
Kicking team.
And San Francisco takes over at their own 40. Bill Walsh contemplating on the sideline perhaps when to bring in Steve Young, who had such a great game last week in relief. Medium fly to Wilson. That's caught. Tackled by Firmer. Fulcher immediately, and Casanova will be out of the game for some time. George Ilioka out of Boise State comes in to replace him. Ball to 41. Could that be Ioka? Could be. Gore. Pitch right. Gain of 4 yards. Tittle has started 3 for 7, 63 yards. Anderson 7 of 10 for 82. Wilson, medium out on 2nd and 6. Tittle gets the first down. And Y.A. Tittle trying to prove his worth as quarterback and hoping Bill Walsh does not pull him again. Sotal, short cross on 1st and 10 at the 31. He's got it. Gain of 13. So Tittle now up to a 4 for 8 game and 76 yards. Gore, pitch right. Blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a screen. 3 wides in the game for San Francisco, and Gore has a touchdown. Your extra point attempt, good, and we are dead even at 10-10. And this is with 2 minutes left to go in the first half, so we have reached the 2-minute warning very quickly. Only been with you 24 minutes and probably a little less because we'll probably have a little editing to do on the opening of the show. Today, Yeast back deep for Cincinnati. Caught it about the 5, just in front of the 5, and Yeast with a good return to the 35, 29-yard return. Cincinnati has all 3 timeouts left, as does the Gold Raiders. It's 1st and 10 at the 35. Anderson back to throw, marker down. See what that is.
Offense. Number 18, 5-yard penalty.
A.J. Green called for illegal motion, backing Cincinnati up 5, and it is now a 1st and 15 at the 30. Here's your throw, completed to Ross, and that's a gain of 12 as I open up my Coke, wondering where on earth was it. And it's 2nd and 3 at the 42 with 1:34 left, and Cincinnati has just used their first timeout of 3. Anderson, incomplete, looking for Dillon. 3rd and 3, ball at the 42. That's a throw and a catch to A.J. Green, a gain of 6, and that moves to sticks for the Bengals. 1st and 10 at the 48. And a marker.
Ball start. Offense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Making it 1st and 15. Interesting that Cincinnati has an Anderson and a Johnson on the offensive line and an Anderson and a Johnson in the backfield. 1st and 15 at the 43. Doesn't make an announcer's job easy, does it? Ross with the catch, a gain of 6. San Francisco deigning to use their timeout, so Cincinnati uses their second. Minute 17 to go. Incomplete, looking for A.J. Green. Willie Brown on the coverage for San Francisco, a 3rd and 9. A sack. Dana Stubblefield came up and lowered the boom on Anderson. And now, since San Francisco calls a timeout, they have 2 left. Wharf and a cab ride from Menlo Park for Cincinnati. And ball's going to land inside the 15. I'm going to return it. Got to make something happen here with a minute to go. Caught at the 10. Returned to the 20, nearly to the 30 by Taylor. And they're ruling it at the 28. So the Gold Raiders will start from there. 1st and 10. A fly to Billy Wilson. Medium fly. And he's on it. Nice catch. Gain of 25 yards. And San Francisco will burn one of their timeouts here with 43 seconds to go. Rice, medium slant. Thrown and caught by Wilson. Another gain of 10. The clock ticks. Owens, medium out. He's got it. Gain of 18. Did they get out of bounds to stop the clock? They did not. And Tittle's going... Nope, they're going to have to call their last timeout. With 17 seconds to left, this puts San Francisco in a spot. Because now they gotta get out of bounds. Wilson, the short out. Caught. Did he get out of bounds? Yes, he did. Stopping the clock at 10 seconds. They will kick the field goal here. Janikowski from 27 to give them the lead. Because the play could take more than 10 seconds. No good. No good, so we will remain tied going into the half in all likelihood. Candy Anderson and Cincinnati lined up as if he's going to take a knee, and he does. And that's it. The end of the first half. It's been a good game. San Francisco 10 and Cincinnati with 10. Cincinnati 201 yards, 33 plays. San Francisco 24 plays, 235. Yeast back deep for the Bengals, who get the ball to start the second half. He catches it about the 4. Runs it upfield to the 31, a gain of 27. Corey Dillon, 9 carries for 62 yards. He's been the standout so far for Cincinnati. Wilson has had 9 catches. I'm sorry, not Wilson. I'm looking at the wrong column. 4 catches, 63 yards for Wilson. I would call him the San Francisco offensive standout so far. 1st and 10 at the 31. Of course, as I was saying in the open, that may or may not be edited out. A gain of 3 for Pete Johnson. 2nd and 7 in the 34. These two teams met twice in the Super Bowls in the 1980s. Super Bowls 16 and 23. 3rd and 3 at the 38. One of the few pairings that have met in more than one Super Bowl. An incomplete pass on 3rd and 3. Looking for Green was Anderson. San Francisco will have to punt. Cincinnati has to punt to San Francisco. Get it right, Paulie. And a nice return by John Taylor out to the 28. McElhenney on a dive. The first time, McElhenney with a nice run here. Hold the phone. 50, 40. He might take it to the house. Ken Riley came up and made a touchdown-saving tackle after a gain of 61. Wow. Frank Gore off tackle right. Super Bowl 16 was remembered for the goal line stand San Francisco made. I believe Cincinnati had 4 downs from either the 1 or 2 yard line, and San Francisco stopped them every time. Sotel over the middle, medium cross. I'll tell you the second part of this after this play. Sotel, touchdown. And San Francisco takes the lead at 16-10. The Gold Raiders showing their talents. And your point after, good by Janikowski, 17-10. Yeast back deep for Cincinnati. And that's a gain of 19 for Yeast. Tatum on to tackle for San Francisco, one of the Oakland Raiders on this team. 1st and 10 at the 23. Super Bowl 23 was, of course, remembered for the drive by Joe Montana, trailing 16-13 in the last 5 minutes of the Super Bowl. And it was one of the first of a stretch of good Super Bowls that have been played the last, 20 years or so. 2nd and 4, 30 years or so. As both teams kind of played nervously most of the game, and San Francisco trailed, loss of a yard by Dillon, 3rd and 5, and had that nice final drive that sent Bill Walsh into retirement, and George Seifert took over the 49ers in '89 and took them to yet another Super Bowl, 1st and 10 at the 36. Johnson, no, that was not Johnson, that was Dillon, a gain of 6, and he has 100. He does not have 100 yards, he has 71. He had 100 on the nose last week against Cleveland. My mistake, one of many. 2nd and 4 at the 42. Johnson, Pete Johnson, a gain of 4 and a 1st down. Do I want a challenge? Yes, I do.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the 1st down. No timeout will be charged.
There you go. Which will make it about 3rd and inches. And who knows, I might get a loss here. Anderson, no, he zips by, gets the 1st down, forces a fumble, and San Francisco's got it.
The previous play is under review.
But this might be overturned.
Upon further review, the runner was down by contact.
Okay, the ruling, Kenny Anderson did not fumble. It's a 1st down for Cincinnati. We have 8:27 left to go. No gain. Dillon on the run, and Willis on the stop. 2nd and 10 at the Frisco 49. Pete Johnson gains 2. As a team, Cincinnati 26 carries, 126 yards. Dillon has the most of that with 71. 3rd and 8 at the 47. Anderson over the middle, but short of the 1st was Hujmansada. He gained 7. Needed just a wee bit more. 4th and a yard. Cincinnati looking like they will go for it. Johnson, it's going to be close. He got it. And it's 1st and 10 at the 39 of San Francisco now, with 6:24 left in quarter number 3. Throw caught by Ross, but we have a marker down.
Offsides. Defense. Number 24. 5-yard penalty.
Brown offsides, but that does not change the outcome of the play. Lott, his 10th tackle of the day. 1st and 10 at the 16. Cincinnati not going away quietly. Pete Johnson, gain of 3 yards. He has 10 tackles on the day, which in a way shows you how many plays Cincinnati has run. They have 48. And San Francisco has 27, but it's San Francisco who has the lead. This is play number 13 coming up, 2nd and 7. Incomplete. Collinsworth, the intended receiver, 3rd and 7. Ball at the 12, 13-yard line. I take that back. Anderson scrambles in the pocket. Ran to the left, ran to the right, and an incomplete pass. Kenny Anderson nearly sacked by Charles Haley. He got the ball away, but Dillon could not haul it in. So Shane Graham on to try a field goal from 30. Good. And it's 17-13 with 4:44 left in quarter number 3. This is Abe Woodson back deep. He'll be 3 yards deep, and he will return it. And that is a gain of 23 yards to the 20 as he took it 3 yards deep. As I check a few items out here on my phone. And it is 1st and 10 at the 20. Gore, trap right. Heavy blitz, so this is going to be a screen to McElhenney. McElhenney to the 30, he caught it, and that's a gain of 17. Tittle, 11 for 15, 184 yards, having a pretty decent day. Dive, Frank Gore.
False start. Offense. Number 82, 5-yard penalty.
Soltow.
Repeat, first down.
Gets booked for the false start, and it's now 1st and 15. Rice, medium hitch. Dump to McElhenney. A fumble recovered by San Francisco. McElhenney with the fumble, forced by Spikes. Soltow recovered it, and it's 2nd and 11. Rice has only had 1 catch on the day, so let's get the ball to him on a screen. It's a good catch, and Rice, with that great speed of his, 40, 30, 20. And Ken Riley again with another touchdown-saving tackle. That is his longest catch of the year, Jerry Rice, and that was good for 56. 1st and goal at the 8. They'll go back to Rice, hope he could finish it off here on the slant pass. Incomplete. Parrish hurt. Number 24, and he's going to stay in the game. Gore, try to knock it in a little further here. Trap right. Gain of 3. And it's 3rd and goal now at the 5. Davis will come in as a second tight end. But they'll look for Rice on the short cross. A blitz, so they'll change it to a slant. No, incomplete. Riley making several great plays for the Bengals in this 3rd quarter. He just made a deflected stop by Riley. Made a good play on defense there. And here's Janikowski from 22. That should be good, and it is. And the lead is back to 7. 20-13 San Francisco with 1:14 to go. Yeast back deep. Caught at the 9. And out to the 23. Return was 15, so we caught it at the 8. 1st and 10. 1:05 left in the 3rd. Looking for A.J. Green over the middle. Deep pass, but that's incomplete. Tipped by Willie Brown. 2nd and 10. This is Pete Johnson. A gain of 4. Willis with another tackle. It's now 3rd and 6 at the 27. Screen and incomplete. What should be the last play of the quarter coming up. Pat McAnally back to punt. And a return to 9.
Receiving team.
But holding on it, which is going to back the Gold Raiders up 12 more yards, half the distance. So they'll start from their own 12 when the 4th quarter begins. It's San Francisco 20, Cincinnati at 13. And every week, at least once during the weekend, and sometimes during the week, we have the OOTP 21 Perfect Team Series for you, featuring the Universal Pioneers. See what cards I grab and what cards I throw away. Kind of sounds like Kenny Rogers and the Gambler. Every week, at least once a week, and sometimes more, right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. Wish I had BMI ASCAP privileges when I do these videos, because using the Gambler and Kenny Rogers would be a perfect fit there. Okay, 20-13, San Francisco. Ifs and buts for candy and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful Christmas. San Francisco, 33 plays, 387. Cincinnati has run 53 and has gained 276. We'll go Gore on a dive, 1st and 10. We have the lead, Cincinnati doesn't. Gain of 3, and Casanova on the stop. Medium fly, Billy Wilson. That is caught by Jerry Rice instead, who just had a big play on the last series, a gain of 2. 3rd and 5. Back to the wide receiver screen. We'll go to Terrell Owens this time. Look for 81. But that does not work out too well. A gain of a yard. He needed 5. And it's punting time for San Francisco, who has the wind advantage again of 20 yards, 10 to 20 miles per hour. And the punt went 48 yeast. Nearly nothing on the return. Tatum on the tackle. Here's Cincinnati's first play. I didn't mean to go that fast.
Offense, number 89, 10-yard penalty.
Ross holding, and it is 1st and 20 at the 24. Anderson 14 for 24, 150 yards. So San Francisco's kind of done a good job keeping him in check most of the game. No gain there. Sweep to Dillon. Lester Hayes on the tackle. No, I don't know if they checked him for Stickum. 2nd and 20 at the 24. Incomplete. Stubblefield hurt. He's returned questionable, so Young comes in and will play defensive tackle. Bryant Young out of Notre Dame. 3rd and 20. Passing time here for Kenny Anderson. I would think he's got to throw it down the field, but he can't. Incomplete. And Grayson providing good defense. Punting time. It's Taylor catching it on the run. Crosses over midfield. And a nice return of 15 yards. 1st and 10 at the 48. We have 11:48 left in the game. Unless we go overtime, it is 20-13 in favor of the Gold Raiders. Looking to go 7 and 2 on the year. Gore, a gain of 8, which puts San Francisco over 400 yards total on the day. As a team, they have combined for 16 rushes and 154 yards. And Gore has most of... No, actually, Hugh McElhenney has 2 rushes for 86. Let's get him the ball with some more carries. Dive play, 2nd and 2, and he's trapped behind the line for a 1-yard loss. So his average goes from 43 down to about 28 on the day. Soltau, short hitch on 3rd and 3 at the 41. Caught, but we have a marker down. It will be a 1st down if it stands.
Offsides.
And it will.
Number 96, 5-yard penalty.
It's Dunlop. Gore will go wide. Actually, no. Let's go to the base formation. And Gore will go wide. McElhenney will go off tackle right. And a gain of 6 yards there. Hugh McElhenney at 91 yards on the day. You say he would run. His running style was to pretend that he was in a dark alley and he had to get from one place to the other, and he would just run like hell. Okay, pitch right McElhenney on 2nd and 4. And he loses 4 yards, setting up a 3rd and 8. We'll go Jerry Rice on the short slant. Play that always seems to work. Incomplete. 4th and 8 at the 34. Janikowski, a 2 out of 3 chance of hitting this from 51. Dead solid perfect. And it's 23-13. We have 8:41 left to go in the 4th quarter. Carl Pickens comes in as a 4th wide receiver. 1st and 10 at the 20. 2-score game. Dillon will get the 1st down, a pickup of 10. It is now a 1st and 10 at the 30. Anderson throws, caught. That was Pickens, gain of 18. Pickens wears 81. 1st and 10 at the 48. No gain for Corey Dillon. Willie Brown on the tackle. 2nd and 10 at the 48. And with the 4 wide receiver set, it kind of looks like a 7-on-7 game. Gain of 12. Pickens again. Pickens now 2 catches. He's got 2 on the day for 30 yards, and he has just entered the game. 1st and 10. Ball at the 40 of San Francisco. Here's your throw to the sideline. Incomplete, looking for Pickens, but not finding Pickens. 2nd and 10 at the 40. Screen, Corey Dillon. And he's got a gain of 17 yards out to the 23-yard line. And that sets up a 1st and 10 at the 23. 6:43 to go. My cat has just awakened. That's going to be Dillon all the way to the 5, a pickup of 18. Setting up a 1st and goal at the 5. Throw. Incomplete. Looking for Hujmanzada. Grayson with the defensive coverage. 2nd and goal at the 5. Touchdown. And that went to Corey Dillon with his 104-yard rushing total for today. And that is his first touchdown. 23-19. Your point after by Graham Good. 23-20. And we'll be right back. 5:57 left in the 4th quarter. It is a tight game now. 23-20. But you knew that already. Abe Woodson back deep. See, sometimes I have to do a few things around the house, and I have to do a little editing. That's a nice return out to the 41 for Abe Woodson. Francis on the stop. Return went 37 out to the 41. McElhenney, we'll keep feeding him the ball here. Trap right. Marker before the play.
False start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty.
They get shelled
1st down.
For a false start. Setting up 1st and 15. McElhenney will still get it. Off tackle right. And another marker. Ooh.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 94. 5-yard penalty.
Smith with encroachment. And we're back to 1st and 10. Gore off tackle right this time. And a gain of 3. Smith hurt. His return probable. It looks like Edwards has come in to replace him. 2nd and 7 at the 44. Cross to Sotal. 82. Can't catch it. 3rd and 7. Same spot, the 44-yard line. Screen to Gore. That'll be a 1st down, I would think. It's going to be close. He got it. Gain of 8 yards. And now San Francisco will try to chew some clock here. Might taste a little funny. Off tackle left, Hugh McElhenney. Right into the left shift by Cincinnati.
Grabbing the face
left
mask.
of center.
Defense. Number 97.
Oh, Atkins.
15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Like big personal foul there, moving it to the 31. Back to McElhenney on a dive. He'll pick up a couple. 2 yards. Perfect on the stop. McElhenney 7 carries, 91 yards. Gore. So we'll slow it down a little here. Trap right. Gain of 6. 3rd and 2 now. Back to McElhenney on a dive. He's going to be short of the 1st down. A pickup of 1. 2:44 to go. First thing San Francisco will do is they're going to waste a timeout to run the clock down to the maximum. 2:09. 4th and a yard. Ball at the 22. Janikowski.
False start.
From 39.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
And Randy Cross called for a false start. 4th and 6. Janikowski now from 44. And he can't hit it. No good. So Cincinnati with life. 2:03 left to go. A 1st and 10 for them. 66 yards away from Paydirt.
False start. Offense.
And a probable
Number
win.
80,
But
5-yard penalty.
Collinsworth
Repeat 1st down.
called for a false start. 1st and 15 at the 29. Anderson to Pickens. And a gain of 4. We're at the 2-minute warning. It is 23-20, San Francisco. 2nd and 11. Incomplete. 3rd and 11 now. Anderson 18 for 33 on the day. Now 18 of 34 with 201 yards. So this could be the game. 4-1 pass defense I have called. Caught, but way short of the first. A pickup of only 3. And Ronnie Lott has his 15th tackle, and that could be his biggest. The Bengals still have all 3 timeouts at their disposal. McElhenney dive. 1st and 10. And that's a gain of a yard. Gore. Sweep right. And they gain 3 yards there. Minute 31 to go. And the Bengals call a second timeout. Special request before this game's over. Before the next election cycle, could we make a pact that when there are sporting contests on TV, we do not see political ads? I'm sorry, but what does it have to do with sporting events? Okay, venting off. Frank Gore off tackle right, 3rd and 6. A gain of 4 yards. 4th and 2, a minute 23 to go. Janikowski will try a field goal again from 45 yards. This one is good. But now the Bengals will get it back, but they have no timeouts. A minute 20 to go. 26-20. The Bengals 1st and 10 at the 20. These two teams played a regular season game in the 80s where the final score was 27-26 San Francisco. As Dillon, they ran the ball for some reason, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. And San Francisco won the game on a Hail Mary. 27-26. So it's 26-20 now. Loss of 4 yards. Tatum on the stop. And San Francisco not using any timeouts at all. 3rd and 11. Why would we give them time? Anderson to throw. Picked. Lester Hayes.
Illegal contact, defense. Number 24, 5-yard penalty, automatic.
But it's coming
First
back.
Down.
Willie Brown, illegal contact, and Cincinnati has new life. Again, 1st and 10 at the 24. Throw, incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 24. Anderson is now 19 of 37 with another incompletion. He has had 18 incompletions today. Tittle has only had 8. 3rd and 10 at the 24. Anderson throws it deep. Wouldn't be a bad time for that. Collinsworth, the intended receiver, but that too falls incomplete. 4th and 10 at the 24. This is going to be it. Deep throw, deep ball, incomplete. Pickens was the intended receiver. Tittle, take a knee and let's get out of here. And that's it. Your final. San Francisco 26 and Cincinnati 20. San Francisco to 7-2 and will be tied for the 2nd best record in the league. And Cincinnati at 4-4. San Francisco 431 the total yardage they had. Cincinnati 362. Cincinnati perfect in the red zone. San Francisco went 3 out of 4, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Cincinnati had the ball 33-04. They ran 75 plays. San Francisco ran 52. And there were 17 penalties in the game. Yeah, I kind of thought there were a lot. MVP of the game, Y.A. Tittle. And we'll look at his stats. 16 of 24, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 129.7 rating. We had Corey Dillon with 103 yards. We had nobody else with a 100-yard game in the skill positions. Leading tackler of the game was Ronnie Lott with 15. Willis had 11. Kenny Riley had 7 tackles, but he had an outstanding game at corner. Made 2 touchdown-saving tackles out of those 7 tackles that he had. And San Francisco wins. Now, what does this mean in the standings? Let's take a look. San Francisco will be tied for first on top of the Western Conference on the Upper West Division, and they'll have the number one seed if the playoffs were today in the Western Conference. They'll be 7-2. LA would be the two seed at 6-3. Kansas City would be three at 7-2, and Denver would get the fourth seed at 6-3. For Cincinnati, the Northern Division goes like this. Uh, Cleveland would still be number one at 6-3. Green Bay, because the tiebreaker here would be points, net points, would be number two at 6-3, and they'd be leading the Upper North because they have because the Northern Conference, if there are ties, we look at head-to-head, but the three teams did not play each other head-to-head, so we go to points. So it'd be Cleveland, Green Bay, Minnesota, and then you would have teams at 4 and 5. We don't know who wins between Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Assuming Baltimore wins, they would get the fourth seed right now at 5 and 4. And Tampa Bay and Baltimore is our next game. Then we do the recap shows. San Diego, Baltimore Monday, Carolina, New York Tuesday, Denver and Pittsburgh on Wednesday. And this has been Big Polly coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are, no matter when you see this. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Don't forget to go out and vote November 3rd. If you see this video before then, don't care who you vote for, just go out and vote. You'll feel better. And we'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.